ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवमुपास्महे. In the previous sloka, the third sloka, they requested, right? I have this bhara of all the sins that I've created. Thousands of sins I keep creating. So you have to remove it. Bhagavan says, okay, now you've come, you've surrendered to me. I will get rid of all your bharas. But in Tirumala, look at the number of people who've come. If you say that you have to be relieved, that's fine. But lakhs of people are coming and you want me to do the same thing for all these lakhs of devotees who are coming? I don't think it is possible. Okay. So we are just imagining an interaction between Anand Swami and Bhagavan. Okay. So Bhagavan says, to so many people who are coming and surrendering, you want me to relieve them of all their burdens? I don't think it is feasible. When we go to the court of law and we want to say that what we are asking is justified, what do? We show a precedence, right? No. In this case, this particular section, it's already happened and this was the judgment that was given. So we show some precedence so that our case is taken care of. So similarly, what Anand Swami does is, he says, no, this is possible. You can take care of any number of people who come to you because there is a precedence that you've already done this. So what is the precedence is the subsequent sloka. Kalavenuravaşakko bhavadhu shatakoti vritat smarakoti samat प्रतिवल्लविकाभिमतात् सुखदात् वसुदेवसुतान parankalaye. Kala Venu Rava. Ravam means sound. Venu is flute. Kala Venu Rava is the enchanting melody of the flute. Avasha. What happens? Because of that, all these devotees are spellbound. They are captivated. Avasha. Whom? Gopavadu. All these gopikas are now avasha, they are captivated. Shatakoti vritat. Shata koti. Koti crores. Shata, hundreds of crores. Vritat, surrounded. Smarakoti samat. Here smara means manmata. Smarakoti samat. Equivalent or even surpassing the 100 crore manmatas. Prativallavika-bhimatat. Prativallavika means to each one of these women. Abhimatat, the one who is desired. Sukhat, the bestower of Sukha, happiness, joy, bliss. Vasudeva Sutat, that son of Vasudeva. Apart from him, na parankalaye. I will consider no one else as my refuge. Earlier, he spoke about Bhagavan Sri Venkatesha. Now he's speaking about Krishna. In fact, during the Brahmotsavam, you will see Bhagavan Sri Venkatesha dressed as Bhagavan Krishna also. With all those peacock feathers and all, they dress him up. So he is the Venkata Krishna Rupa of Bhagavan. So Bhagavan looks gorgeous as Venkata Krishna. So other than Bhagavan as Krishna, the Venkata Krishna, I can think of nobody else as my refuge. You are the Supreme God, O Paramatma. You are surrounded by the hundreds of crores of gopis. They have lost themselves totally in your beautiful flute, the charming flute that you played. They've got so enchanted. This Vasudeva's son, Bhagavan Sri Krishna, is more beautiful than the hundreds of crores of manmatas combined together in beauty, it seems. So one manmata itself is like so enchanting. Now think of 100 crore manmatas and all their beauties are combined together. And that is surpassed by Bhagavan's beauty. So that is how beautiful Bhagavan is. So your beauty surpasses the beauty of 100 crore manmatas. And when all these gopikas come, what do? So to each of them, you fulfill their desires and you give them so much of pleasure individually. You give them single focused attention. So he's saying, You already proved that you can give single focus to all these 100 crore devotees who came there. So it is possible, give it to me now. So that is the understanding. Let's go into the detailed meaning now. Venu Rava is the music from the flute. Ravam is music, so the music, the divine music from the flute. Now, the Gopikas are in their respective homes. Bhagavan has decided to bless all the devotees that evening. So he starts to play his flute. Now, Bhagavan Krishna has a specific tone to call every person. Okay. So when he might play a general thing, but the receiver will hear it as if it's their own name that is being called. It's like an internal calling, hey, Bhagavan is calling my name, so let me rush to him. So that is the way every person will hear it, including the cows and the calves. Every cow and every calf has their specific names. So when Bhagavan blows the flute, everybody will hear their specific names called. So now Bhagavan is playing the flute. Every person who hears it just drops whatever they were doing at that point of time. So a person might be serving food. The spatula is there. The serving is going on. They just leave it, run because Krishna is calling. A girl will be wearing her kajal. Half of the kajal in one eye would have just got completed, drops it there, then just runs, Krishna's calling. Leave alone all this, something which women are very conscious about. Halfway through their dressing, Krishna calls. The remaining part of their attire is also forgotten. They run because Krishna is calling. They are so captivated. A lady in Bhagavata Purana, it's mentioned, she was feeding her child. She even forgets that, drops it there. She runs. So everybody thinks that Krishna is specifically calling that person and they run there. Only to realize everybody else has had the same experience. Everybody is run to the same spot. And when they go there, it's like one huge human chain which is formed there. They all see that it's Krishna who's calling and they forget themselves and fall at the feet of Bhagavan there. Periyalvar speaks that this is a arputa that has happened, He says, how can this happen that the entire village, the entire Vrindavana, Brajabhumi, everybody is there now falling at the feet of Krishna. It is this divine calling of his charming music. And how does Krishna look when he plays this? He is wearing this yellow color silk vastra, and Bhagavan has this beautiful pose which is called as a Tribhanga pose. Tribhanga is like a bent pose, He's sliding on one side in order to play the flute, and his flute is touching his face. And to play the flute, he needs to create some air inside his mouth, right? So he does like that. So it is called as Koppalitavai by Alvar. It's like, his mouth is swollen because of the air which is inside. So he's touched by his flute on his lip. And he has this Tribhangi pose. He's sporting the Vanamala, beautiful silk vastra. And that music captivates everybody there. It's elaborately explained how the nature works very differently when all this is happening. So what happens is whatever has to stand is now moving. Whatever is supposed to be moving is still. For example, the cows which came to graze are now just standing spellbound by Bhagavan's flute. They are just standing. The ears of the cows are all uplifted because whatever is the pleasure of the music they are hearing, they don't want to slide it off their ears. So the ears of the cows are just standing straight. But the trees, which usually stand in one place, is now waving. It's moving here and there, to the rhythm of Bhagavan's music. Yamuna Devi, who is usually, by her nature, she flows from the higher level to a lower level, right? But now, the water in Yamuna river is flowing back and forth based on the rhythm of the music of what Bhagavan is playing. She does not know which direction she is going. She is just going here and there based on the music of Bhagavan. So the entire nature is completely different. The Gopikas are captivated. They are lost. At that point, what does Bhagavan do? He knows the desires of each one of these gopikas. He's decided, he's Udhara, right? He will satisfy every single desire, even if it's not explained to him, and these desires will be satisfied multifold. So what Bhagavan does, he takes the number of forms equivalent to the number of gopikas. Okay. Now, what is very beautiful in this sloka is that Kalavenu Ravava Shakopavatu Shatakoti Vritat. Shatakoti Vritat. So, Shatakoti, 100 crore gopikas, says Anand Swami. When did 100 crore gopikas come? Were they that many crores? We are speaking about our population here. 100 crore gopikas. What does Anand Swami speak about here? What happened is, when this Rasalila of Bhagavan was happening, all the Indra, the Devatas, and all the other divinities in the different abodes watch what is happening. And Bhagavan has taken this Leela, and everybody wants to associate themselves with that. As it is, the Gopikas are the rishis who have done tapasya in order to get this anubhava, right? Those who are watching this, cannot stop themselves from being part of this Leela. So what happened is, each of them, they also become a Gopika in order to take part in the Rasa of Bhagavan. So all those who were witnessing, instead of just being a witness, they become a Gopika and they join here. And Bhagavan, being his Udaratva, he takes one more form for them. So how many ever people came, he took different forms for each one of them. So Shatakoti Vritat, it was like there were 100,000 gopikas in that Vrajabhumi at that time. And how was Bhagavan? Smara Koti Samat. He was like 100,000 Manmatas who have been combined together. His beauty was unlimited, is basically what we can understand. So one Manmata can captivate everybody. 100 crore Manmatas together. The combination of all of them is there in each of the Bhagavan. Now, each of the Bhagavan is fulfilling whatever was in the mind of each of the Gopika, as if he was exclusive to them. One Gopika's ears, he will be telling some secret. In the other Gopika's thing, he will be dancing. In fact, in Srimad Bhagavata Purana, it says that one of the Gopika can sing in a very high pitch. So when she was saying, Bhagavan is like, appreciating her singing. And because Bhagavan appreciated her singing, she starts to change the tala to Dhruva tala. And Bhagavan says, I like Dhruva tala. So he's beginning to speak in their language, the way that person can understand and start appreciating the music. With another person, he is doing some other Leela. For everybody, he's customizing his appearance. And all this is happening parallelly, but everybody thinks it's completely exclusive. So that is the entire feel that you gave to every devotee. So we have the precedence. Prati Vallavikabi Matat Sukhadat. For every single lady who was there, who was your devotee, what did you do? You were the person they desired. So you gave yourself to them. And then what did you do? Sukhat, you gave them all the pleasures that they wanted and a lot more. And this was customized, individual specific treatment that you gave to how many of them? To the Shatakoti Vritat, right? So having done all this as Vasudeva Sutta, you were Vasudeva's son at that point of time. Here you are Venkata Krishnan. So you think we will forget all your history? No. Precedence is there. So you have to now do everything to us also. So that is so we can understand both these slokas together in that sense. So the previous sloka and this sloka. So Vasudeva Sudanna Parankalaye. So beyond you, I can't think of anybody else as my refuge, ho Bhagavan. In this sloka, there are a few important qualities that we have to understand of Bhagavan. So Prativallavikabi Matat Sukadat, right? So Bhagavan, as Bhagavan Sri Venkateshwara in Tirumala, we said, is accessible. He was there for everybody to approach him. Here, Prativallabi, Bhagavan Saulabhya, the easy accessibility, where all the gopikas had all their desires. It is Rasa Leela, the romance of Bhagavan. Bhagavan is willing even for that, whatever the devotees want, right? Even though people might even misunderstand Bhagavan, this quality is called as the Nisprihata. Nisprihata means selflessness. He is not worried about his reputation. What will people think of him? No. He is about his devotees. He will do anything for his devotees. In fact, the same quality. He became a charioteer to Arjuna. Will any king want to be a driver in today's context? Think about a president of a country becoming a charioteer for somebody else. Is that ever possible? Bhagavan, who's Rajadi Raja, became a charioteer to Arjuna, who is a human, right? So this is the Nisprihata. And Bhagavan does this because of his Vatsalya. He looks at all of us with so much of love and affection that he wants to do this. So in this sloka, in fact, the previous sloka and this share the concept of Paratva. The sovereignty of Bhagavan is mentioned. Venkata Krishna in both cases. I will surrender only to you. Parankalaye is mentioned in both the slokas that, you are my sole refuge, O Bhagavan. Bhagavan being accessible is also mentioned in both these slokas. The Nisprihata is exclusively mentioned in this particular sloka. So whenever we look at each of these slokas, the different qualities of Bhagavan, we need to internalize. That is when the joy of slokas get enhanced a lot. Kalavenuravavashagopavadhushatakoti smara-koti samat प्रतिवल्लविकाभिमतात् सुखदात् वसुदेव सुदान् न परङ्कलये.